I told y'all. I freaking told y'all that One Piece Shippuden was going to change manga forever. I told you it was going to break the internet. The first chapter of One Piece Shippuden, as in the first chapter after Oda comes off a 1-month hiatus, was, in my opinion, one of the greatest One Piece chapters ever. I don't care what anyone says. It is truly one of the chapters that I can call top 10. Top 5 even possibly chapters in One Piece. Even just moment wise, even just single moment wise in One Piece, the things that happened in this episode alone were like top 5 moments in One Piece. Bro, I cannot believe this happened. I didn't think it was going to break the internet on its first chapter. Oh my god. The chapter that came before this one showed us the new bounties of Luffy, Kid, and Law, and disappointingly they were all at 3 billion, despite the fact that Luffy was the one to take out Kaido. It is what it is. But this chapter, man, I cannot tell you a single dull panel. I mean, I guess the first few panels of the Scabbards and Green Bull were like pretty boring, but even though it's pretty boring and we don't really care about the Scabbards, I don't care about the Scabbards personally, we get to see what Green Bull's powers are actually like. He has this weird Logia type fruit, which is like a nature type fruit. I would have never predicted something like this, but it is a pretty dope fruit. I guess it's pretty cool. He becomes like the nature, he becomes like the trees. It's kind of weird, but it's also pretty cool. He is an admiral though, keep that in mind. This man is quite dangerous. He's top 5 in the Navy pretty much. So as it typically goes with One Piece chapters, the first sort of quarter of the chapter is pretty basic. It's Momonosuke and Yamato fighting a whole admiral, despite the fact that an admiral should be able to absolutely destroy the both of them. Even though Yamato is pretty strong, Momonosuke has like no powers. The kid is absolutely garbage at fighting, but Yamato alone was able to do some damage. But that is not the most important part of the chapter, because right under this moment, right under this boring ass fight with an admiral, Yamato and Momonosuke, we have this scene right here. This beautiful panel that I didn't think we'd see in the next 100 chapters. I saw leaks on Twitter, I saw names on Twitter, I mentioned that in my other One Piece video. I said I saw names, and I memed about the fact that I saw Eren trending as well, because I didn't want to spoil who I actually saw trending for all of you. But Shanks' name was trending, and is still trending. Sabo's name was trending, and the name of the chapter was trending. One Piece 1054 is also trending, but that happens every single One Piece chapter. So let's get right to the point. Shanks is in Wano. That's right, the same Shanks that gave Luffy his hat, the same Shanks that rode with Roger, is in Wano country. He's just chilling on the sea on his boat, and he's talking here about reuniting with Luffy and how it's been such a long time since he has been on Wano, how Momo and Hiyori have grown, and his crew is just going crazy about the fact that they're going to see Luffy again. Yasop is like, hey yo, relax bro, I'm not trying to see my son right now. And then Shanks just looks at the newspaper, as he always seems to do, and sees Luffy in the newspaper and says, look at this. And he's truly shocked that Luffy has a 3 billion bounty. But this happens like every time Luffy gets a new bounty. We see Shanks' reaction. That's not the crazy part of this episode, okay? This episode, oh my god, this chapter. We get a mini backstory of Shanks and how he was running away from the government because he had the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and it shows the scene where his arm gets bitten off by the sea monster. And man, some of these panels though, the nostalgia in these panels are truly beautiful. We just get to see the past and what really happened, kind of remind us of the bond that Luffy and Shanks share. Everything's going chill. Shanks gets up, pours himself a cup of sake, talks to his right hand man, Ben Beckman. Where is this going to go? It's probably such... Wait, what? So as we see here, a very unexpected thing happens. Shanks says something that I was not expecting. So he says he does not plan to have a reunion with Luffy here on Wano, which first of all, I was like, bro, I just got so hyped that you were here. You were close to Luffy for the first time since Marineford, and you really about to not reunite with him? I had the same reaction as Lucky Roo. And Shanks then gets up, as I said, pours himself a cup of sake and talks to Ben Beckman. He's like, yo, Beckman, I think it's time, bro. And Beckman's like, huh? You sure? He's like, I think it's time we go ahead and just claim the One Piece. Just casually, let's go ahead and claim the One Piece. Let's just go and get it, you know. We know where it is. We haven't been to Laugh Tale actually, because Shanks didn't ride to Laugh Tale. Wait, correction. I'm not sure if Shanks rode to Laugh Tale. I just know that he knows where Laugh Tale is because of Roger. But we know where the One Piece is. We can go get the One Piece. And he just casually drops a bomb like that, and that's that. But this, in my opinion, this is the biggest part of the chapter for me. What comes after this is still really cool with Sabo and the Revolutionary Army, because we had not heard of the Revolutionary Army for the entirety of the story. And I'll get to that portion of the chapter. But here I want to talk about Shanks himself. Shanks to me is one of the most compelling and intriguing characters in One Piece. The reason for that, I'm sure you know, is that he's been hidden for pretty much the whole story. Now, I've had my disagreements with the way Oda handled Shanks' character and the way that he completely hid him away for the majority of the story, about like 95% of the story, even 99% of the story. Shanks is not there. But what that does is allow the moments where Shanks is there to be absolutely incredible, and this chapter is just one of those examples. As I'm sure you can see, everyone, including myself, is losing their mind about this fact. Shanks being here on Wano alone is something crazy to think about, but Shanks saying he's going to find the One Piece now, that's like endgame stuff. I wouldn't even expect a comment like this for endgame from Shanks. So here's the thing, is Shanks evil? Well, like, evil is a bit of a harsh term. Is Shanks going to go after the One Piece himself? Is Shanks a rival to Luffy, or are they friends? And is Shanks going to let Luffy find the One Piece? It doesn't seem like that anymore, right? You think that's what it would be like before, because Shanks wants Luffy to achieve his dreams because they're friends, and Shanks, you know, he doesn't have interest in the One Piece because he already saw it with Roger. But here it shows that Shanks is just going to find the One Piece by himself. It shows basically coming out of Shanks' mouth, he's saying that he is going to go after the One Piece himself. He says, it's about time I go after the One Piece. So what is Shanks' character? You think that having seen something from Shanks for the first time in hundreds of chapters, we'd get some questions answered, right? Except we get more questions after Shanks is here. Why is Shanks going after the One Piece? And the hundreds of questions that follow after that. That was just so crazy to me. But what happens after this is that we learn that Neferati Cobra, which was the descendant of one of the founding 20 kings of the 20 kingdoms from 800 years ago, has been assassinated by Sabo himself. And the chapter is named Flame Emperor because Sabo has been given the nickname Flame Emperor. Now here's something I've heard people are complaining about, and it's the fact that Green Bull and Fujitora could not defeat the Revolutionary Army commanders. They couldn't beat Sabo and the other commanders of the Revolutionary Army, and the Revolutionary Army was able to escape Marie-Joie with Bartholomew Kuma, who was the slave of the Celestial Dragons, as we know. This is something that is very weird to me because I didn't expect 2 admirals to lose to 4 of the Revolutionary Army commanders, despite the fact that the admirals weren't able to fight at full strength. I'm sure that if it was going to come to the point where the Revolutionary Army was about to take Kuma away, they would fight at full strength, right? And right under here, it shows Akainu saying they shouldn't make excuses for them because no matter what, they should have beaten them, right? Now here's a theory that I've heard from BDA Law during his live stream, and he thinks that it's Fujitora that actually helped Sabo and the Revolutionary armies escape with Kuma. That is a huge possibility, and if that is the case, what a twist that is going to be. It does actually kind of make sense because Fujitora is against the way Akainu handles things, but we got to get more explanation into that because something like that just completely dropped with no explanation is way too vague. The end of the chapter shows Sabo being worshipped like a god, and he's said to be doing more than Dragon himself, more than the rebellious dragon, which is a sick nickname for dragon, by the way. And something like that is just crazy to think about. And could this mean that Sabo is Yonko level confirmed? Bruh, at this point, who knows? Maybe not Yonko level, but he's around Admiral level, I would say. Or it could just be that 2 of the commanders are as strong as an Admiral. If you think of it that way, it does kind of make sense because there was 4 commanders and there were 2 Admirals, so if it's kind of like 2v1, and now that I think about it, it kind of does make sense. That's it for the chapter. It finishes with Akainu saying, "We will strike back and return fire on all fronts." So that man's not giving up for sure. And in my opinion, I think Akainu is actually one of the strongest characters in the entire story of One Piece, because if he's going to be kind of like the final villain, he's got to be really strong. This was truly an exceptional chapter. There's a lot of things to talk about. Shanks going after the One Piece and being somewhat of a villain. Could Shanks be the final villain? That's a huge question I have right now. Could Shanks really be the final villain of One Piece? Because that would just be something, man. The revolutionaries hadn't made their move in over 1,000 chapters, and they have made their move in secret without it being shown. It was quite literally off screen, despite the fact that we've been waiting for 25 years. But as long as we get some explanation into how the Revolutionary Army actually took Bartholomew Kuma and how they actually fought 2 admirals with just their commanders, as long as we get an explanation, I'm fine with it. And the fact that Dragon hasn't done anything still, despite the fact that the Revolutionary Army is at war, it's very weird to me how Oda has not made Dragon do do anything yet? Is he still building him up? Is Dragon like the strongest character in the verse? I do not know. I can't even... At this point, I know nothing about where One Piece is going. But what it seems like is happening is that we are going to have somewhat of a three-way war, where it's sort of like the pirates, the navy, and the revolutionary army. It's going to be something, man. A three-way war is the final war of One Piece. Everything has been leading up to this moment, and as I said, One Piece Shippuden is certainly going to break the internet, and this chapter has already proved it. Let me know what you thought of the chapter in the comments, any disagreements you had with the chapter, anything you didn't like, anything you loved. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to read the comments. But that's it for me. Peace.